the bad news keeps rolling in from credible financial experts. This week's Economist, quote, "Were Canada's 10 provinces and 3 territories an American state, they would have gone from being slightly richer than Montana, America's 9th poorest state, to being a bit worse off than Alabama, the 4th poorest." Alabama. To fix a problem, one has to admit that it exists. Will the government admit that under its policies, Canada is now poorer than Alabama, America's 4th poorest state?
The Conservatives are very careful about the statistics they choose to share. If they want to compare us to the United States, we might start with health care or dental care or pharmacare or child care. But if they want to focus on the economy, they might focus on the fact that we have a lower deficit, that we have lower debt servicing costs, that we pay a lower interest rates than America does, that we have higher forecast economic growth. The unfortunate thing is because of the dangerous promises of the Leader of the Opposition, they don't want Canadians to hear about that, which is why they're promising to cancel the CBC.
The honourable member from Wellington. The honourable member from Wellington, Halton Hills.
Mr. Speaker, this data, these statistics aren't coming from Conservatives. They're coming from credible financial experts at the Financial Times of London and The Economist, 2 organizations for which the finance minister wants to work, and surely the government isn't suggesting these organizations are biased. Again, to fix a problem, one has to admit that it exists. Will the government admit that under its spending, its budgets, its plans, Canada is now poorer than Alabama, America's 4th poorest state?
I mean, the truth is the Leader of the Opposition offers no solutions for Canadians. On housing, he wants to add 5% tax on apartment construction. On affordability, doesn't support dental care, doesn't support pharmacare, doesn't support childcare. He doesn't support the tax cuts that we gave for the middle class, doesn't support the tax cuts we gave for small business, and worst of all, is he doesn't want anybody to hear about this, which is why he wants to cancel the CBC and take that away from Canadians as well.
Mr. Speaker, the Financial Times wrote 1 year ago, if current trends continue, Canadian living standards would continue to decline. It's been a year and it's gotten worse. This week, The Economist said that Canada is now poorer than Alabama. Will any minister over there admit that Canadian living standards are in decline?
The member opposite is now the second member to admire Alabama and say that Alabama is doing better than Canada. I think Canada's the greatest nation on earth. Exactly. And I think that I'm really proud of this country and what we're doing. I'm proud of our healthcare system, Mr. Speaker. And when you take a look at the Conservatives are filibustering in committee right now a study of privatizing healthcare, no wonder they have an admiration of the American model, because they want to clear-cut our healthcare system. They won't. You talk about not acknowledging a problem. They have no solutions for the gaps that we have in care. We do. We're delivering. We're going to keep doing it.
That minister wants Canadians to believe that they've never had it so good. But here's what Canadians are actually experiencing. The worst housing inflation, the worst mortgage debt, the worst consumer debt in the G7. Income per person today is lower than it was 10 years ago. And now the OECD says Canada real GDP growth will be last among its member nations until 2060. So will they finally admit that under their leadership, Canadian living standards are declining?
Nobody is denying that in every corner of the globe that there are challenges and that you can cherry pick statistics here or there. But the question is, what do you do as a country to meet the challenging moments you're in? The Conservatives' answer is to provide a slogan and no plan. I just invite people to pull back the curtain like the Wizard of Oz and just see what's back there. Not a thing. Not a single thing. In difference and in contrast, we have a plan. Since last I spoke in this House, we've gained 50,000 people in dental care. That's 800,000 people getting care on something they won't even admit exists. This is about doing hard work and doing the right thing, Mr. Speaker.